Mitch right now.
Mm-hmm.
O'Connor, Ziggy's Spirit Shop, Scott's Headers and Mufflers, Pericone Juices, Ramona's Mexican Restaurant, and Class X Auto Body. That's Beaumont High School football action Saturday night at 4:45 for the pregame show, live from Redlands on your home for Cougar football, KMET AM 1490. The following is a paid program. Views and claims expressed are those of the program producer and are not endorsed by this station. Opinions expressed are not necessarily those of radio station KMET, its management, employees, or affiliates.
That's right. It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Joining our live audience there, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live. Glad to have you with us. Latest news, earthquake shaking LA, 4.4 magnitude. So it's bearable, right? A good little reminder that we live in shaky town. Always one of those things that we go, why does the earth move in the way that it does, right? Kind of one of those things you think of. Tornadoes doing their thing as well. That's no fun. But evidently, one of the anchors from CBS TV was on air when the quake struck. Rick Garcia, of course, this one was centered in the Santa Monica Mountains between Encino and the Westwood section of LA. And obviously, no real damage. Of course, one of those little timblers as you would normally get. We got Mr. Jesse Sanchez over there. No fun, right, when it comes to earthquakes?
Honestly, I dig earthquakes.
Oh, do you?
Depending on what their size. Because
I'm going to remind you that next time.
well, I'm used to them. So I'm in California. I'm used to the shaking. So unless I still remember the Northridge earthquake. So unless it's stronger than that, I'm not going to really move.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you have awareness of worst case scenario situation, though, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Again, obviously, prepare for the worst, but always be ahead of it. If at all possible. I like to at least go, okay, in the end of every single day, say, okay, what did I accomplish this day in order to be able to move on forward to the next day, right? What are the positive things that happen in your life and or day? We want to hear about it. National Day of sorts. Today's National Day is National Farm Rescuer Day, National Awkward Moments Day. You've never had an awkward moment, trust me, I'm sure they count and they add up. National Biodiesel Day, National Sloppy Joe Day, National Supreme Sacrifice Day. Which of these, Jesse, will you celebrate this day?
I'm not gonna lie, the Sloppy Joe sounds interesting. That last one is kind of scary for me, so I don't know.
The National Supreme Sacrifice Day, like
what is that, like like give up something, like Lent?
Actually a little bit more than that. We're calling to mind the men and women in uniform who have laid down their lives. Yeah, so that's let's admire that one just for a minute, because sometimes we forget about those that have put themselves in harm's way. And I know, and I get it, and I understand. Some are like, yeah, but people are going to war. Yeah, but at the same time, many times they're keeping people safe in more abilities than not, that we hope, right, at the end of the day. This day honors those who may have stepped forward during times of crises to rescue a stranger or a neighbor, give the supreme sacrifice that day. These sacrifices come in many forms. We don't always recognize them. In the case of one young miner, remember that, who saved the lives of 11-year-old Emmett and 8-year-old Meredith when the sleigh they were in overturned during a blizzard so fierce they couldn't see their house, so they were only 200 yards away. Wind howling so loudly they couldn't hear their father's voice calling to them on March 15th. This was 1920. They'd set home from school in rural North Dakota and been caught up in the blizzard. Their 16-year-old sister, Hazel Miner, protected her siblings with her body, keeping the blankets in place over her siblings through the night. Hazel Miner died that night, but her actions saved the lives of her siblings. These are just some stories talked about, again, in remembrance of those who saved them. But what's your sacrifice, and or what's the sacrifice that's been given to you, perhaps as of late? Sometimes it is a family member. Sometimes it's not as I mean, there are some situations where you go, okay, there were, life-threatening situations. Hopefully you've never been in one of those, right, Jesse?
Yeah, I've never been in a situation like that. If that happened, yeah, I don't know. I hope I would do the right thing and sacrifice my life to help others, but I don't know. If I'm scared, have you ever seen a fat man run fast? You'll see that.
Got it. Okay. It's called the adrenaline rush, right?
Right? It's either jump in there and do it or you run.
Yeah. You run for your safety. But here's the reality. I think sometimes, a sacrifice could be as simple as sacrificing your reputation in order to do what's right, right? Sometimes people might, what do they call it? Snitches get stitches. You ever hear that term?
Oh yeah, I've heard that term.
Yeah, it's a creed and a motto some adopt in order to keep others quiet, right? And sometimes you have to kind of speak up in life. You have to kind of say, "Hey, this isn't right. That's not right," and then call it out, right? We do that a lot here on the morning show. I often get reamed for it sometimes for the stuff that I call out, but what do we do at the end of the day? Keep each other safe. Sometimes you have to band together to keep each other safe, and you got to overcome all the evil in the world, because there's look. I always say there's more good than bad. If the fact that we're alive, that means anything to us, that means there is more good than bad, right? Because imagine all evil in the world, like the Death Star. Thank God we don't have, somebody pointing a Death Star at us and trying to explode us. Imagine that, Jesse.
Yeah, that'd be horrible. It's like, I don't like your coronavirus. You guys are gone.
Oh yeah, exactly. So good point, actually. And the reality is, even for those of us in here, living on this earth, of course, we've got to go. Okay, at the end of the day, don't be the Death Star in your family, right? Don't obliterate all of your family members with words and/or deeds and/or actions. Be the life-saving force that you can be, whether it be a good word of encouragement, a good word of the day, a good positive life outcome, saying, you know what, you look kind of sad today. How can I help you today? Remember some of that. All right. Remember some of that. Okay. Enough preaching and teaching in that way. What is our social media saying over there? We want to know. If you're not already following us, follow us at KMT 1490 AM on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope TV, wherever you can find us. YouTube Live. Good morning, Stephanie from Cleveland, Ohio says, hello, happy editing this glorious, gloomy, rainy, awesome day for today. Is it rainy there? That's so nice. I like the rain, unless, of course, you got to be out there. I do admire those frontline workers that sometimes we don't think about, even those that repair the roads, right? Like they're sacrificing sometimes an easy job, right, in order to do a difficult job. Sometimes you think about it. Katya Wunderland from Switzerland says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Katya. Good to see you. Mario says, I remember when I was 18, went to Cali. I had seen signs warning of earthquakes all over. It scared me so much. 3 months I was there, never felt one. Yay. It says, awkward day for me. I fight right in there today. And she's talking about, again, being a nurse. That's what she does. So there you go. We appreciate you. Let's see. Katya says, we enjoyed the time in the nature. Big hug for you and everyone out there. So there you go. Okay, people. Lots of stories kicking it up. Jesse, I believe you're working on a couple stories. What's going on over there?
Yeah, I'm actually excited for tomorrow.
What is tomorrow other than, what is tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Friday.
Oh my God, it's already Thursday.
I know, right?
I don't know why.
I'm so fast.
I know. I don't know why in my head I'm like, today is Wednesday. Nope, it's Thursday. Sometimes the week gets by you, right? It's better than not getting, I guess. But you got to make the most of each day. So what's tomorrow though, Jesse?
There's a couple of releases that are actually coming out on Disney Plus, and I think it's actually all Disney Plus. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Disney Plus is coming out.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
I'm actually excited for that.
Well, that's good. Excitement finally, right?
Yes, finally. And then this has been in the works for quite a while. I think we were talking about the Justice League movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so the original director, Zack Snyder, finished the movie. So it's going to be released tomorrow. 4 hours long, by the way.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm hoping for. Some good fun. I think Godzilla and King Kong are going to go at it, right? Who's going to win at that? Does anybody?
That's next week.
I want to take bets. Does anybody have any bets on that? I say it's going to be either a draw or because first of all, they made King Kong he's not that big proportionally sized. They somehow enhanced him, right? I mean, think about it. At the Empire State Building, we all know how big King Kong is. Godzilla's about as tall as the Empire's, at least half or 3/4 of that, right?
True, but we don't know if King Kong was just a teenager or not. He could have still been growing.
Okay, I'm going to give you that one. You put a lot of thought into this. All right, I'll give, or maybe it's Grandpappy, right? Grandpappy came in and
Well, there you go. Like
teenager son, I'll take care of this.
Like if you were to watch the King Kong movie that was released a few years back, that goes into this movie, he even says it like somewhere in the movie where it's like, "Oh, he's just a teenager. He's still growing." That was in the 70s. So if we go for the movies, he's got about 50 years to grow.
Okay, you know what? It's true. He never talks about mom or dad. You know what? It's true. Nobody ever thinks about, or did he? Was he some science expert? Remember that movie Mighty Joe?
Oh, I love that movie, Mighty Joe Young.
Yeah, Mighty Joe Young, right? Wasn't that about like they start small and then they end up big because of some other thing? Remember Charlize Theron was in that, and a couple others.
It was about a gorilla that grew to like a gigantic proportion size because of a genetic thing.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my point. Be the Charlize Theron in your life and say, you know what, Mother Nature, whatever life throws at us, we're gonna roll with the punches. So there you go. All right, people, we're gonna take a quick break. There are some stories coming up. One of which Europe is in the news, and some things that we can learn from that. Social media. Kathy Gerardo says, my granddaughter asked me, why doesn't Disney have any Latino princess? Actually, there are.
Are there? I can't recall any.
Hold on. I think that there's by in definition of you know what? I know there's one. I can almost guarantee you because I think they started. Well, I know some think. You know what? Let me think on that. You know what? Yeah, let me think about that. Well, no. Well, no, yeah, you're right. Well, I was thinking of Coco, but Coco didn't really have a princess in it, didn't they? It was more like the afterlife. We'll come back to that. I don't know. You know what? Ask Mr. Disney himself. I'm not Mr. Disney. If I were, I'd probably be like, yeah, what's going on over there? All right, we're gonna take a quick break right here on the morning show. Although I do want to see the new movie, right? The dragons. Yeah, I want to see that. All right, I'll be right back right after this. Stay tuned.
Hello, listeners. Christopher here from The Christopher Show. Hey, I want to talk to you a little bit about CBD. Now, CBD is not approved by the FDA as of yet. Myself, as well as millions of other people across the USA, have used it with help for pain, anxiety, sleep, and other conditions. Now, you know, all CBD products are not equal. It really matters on where you get the CBD from. Now, I suggest you get it from a qualified pharmacist, and I happen to know of one. It's at Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions in Beaumont, California. They only carry pharmaceutical-grade CBD products of the highest quality. So if you want the best, you go to Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions. Their staff is there to help you with all your CBD, pharmacy, and mobility needs. They're located at 1680 East 6th Street in Beaumont, California. Give them a call, 951-845-8252. Once again, it's Your Pharmacy Mobility Solutions in Beaumont, 951-845-8252. Once again, it's Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions in Beaumont, California, 951-845-8252.
Your health truly is the greatest gift. At U-Theory, quality of life is at the heart of every product we make. From farm to shelf, we travel the world to source the purest, most efficacious, and clinically studied ingredients to create science-backed supplements that support beauty, emotional, digestive, and physical well-being. All U-Theory products are manufactured at our Southern California facility, ensuring the highest quality standards every step of the way. As a family-owned company, we celebrate the power of human potential with a mission to inspire wellness in all. Try U-Theory Immune Plus Daily Wellness. 100% daily values of vitamin C, D3, and zinc. Go beyond the you of today and catch the you of tomorrow. You Theory.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state? Did you miss sending out a prior year tax return? The IRS is out to collect now more than ever, and they'll use any means necessary. They legally can and will garnish your wages, take your money, and even seize your property. If you're behind on your taxes, call the Tax Relief Hotline right now at 951-224-9000. That's 951-224-9000. 951-224-9000. You can legally get your tax debt under control, and in many cases, get the breathing room you need. Garnished wages, property seizures, bank levies can stop immediately, but you have to call. Many of our specialists are IRS enrolled agents. They know the system and how to make it work for you. Don't wait for the IRS to come down on you. Act now so you can get your tax debt under control. Call the Riverside office today for free info at 951-224-9000. That's 951-224-9000. 951-224-9000.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Joining our live stream audience there, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live, and more. We appreciate each and every one of you. The question of the day, I had to look it up, I'm not going to lie, was this. And I want to ask Kathy in social media, how old is your granddaughter? I want to ask that right now. And tell your granddaughter, good thinking in her mind, right? How old is she? That's what I want to know. It sounds like a little one. Why doesn't Disney have any Latino princess? Now, technically, I had to do the research. I'm not going to lie, because I haven't really seen this one. Princess Elena. Let's see. According to this, and I could be wrong, but Elena of Avalor took the throne as Disney's first Latina princess. Elena Castillo Flores, better known as Elena of Avalor. She sings and plays guitar. That's and you know what? She's yeah. All right. I haven't seen this one. Have you seen it, Jesse?
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling bad now because I kind of like, oh wait, I know most of the princesses. How did I not know Elena of Avalon or what is it? Yeah, seriously, I need to get caught up here. So Elena, which actually one of our social media, I think Mark actually pointed it out, very astute over there, and there she is, Elena. There you go. The Elena Castillo Flores sings and plays guitar. She goes on adventures, rules her kingdom, and has her own highly rated animated TV show. A 16-year-old crown princess was trapped in an amulet for 41 years. So if you do the math, technically she's 57, but you know, they don't age. Which might make her one of Disney's oldest princesses, but that's another story. Her backstory begins when another animated Disney princess, Sophia the First, sets her free. Elena confronts the evil sorceress Shuriki, voiced by Jane Fonda, who killed her parents and took over the kingdom. Elena avenges her parents, drives Shuriki out, and begins her reign over the port city of Avalor. She's the first princess actively ruling her kingdom. And there you go. That's according to Amy Carrero, the Dominican Puerto Rican actress who lends her voice to Elena. So she has a day job, you know, according to her. So she has a day job. You know, there's no Prince Charming. She's her own hero. She's learning that leadership is about sacrifice and not about this sort of totalitarian control over the people she rules, and sort of resembles more of a president than princess. There's never been a better time to tell this story. So there you go. Don't get stuck inside an amulet. According to this, she's still a teenager who tries to convince her grandfather she's responsible enough to rule. Both grandparents are on her grand council. Her little sister Isabel is an inventor. Elena has an animal spirit guide and rides around on flying creatures that are half jaguar, half macaw. According to Sylvia Olivas, oddly enough, a co-producer and head writer of Elena of Avalor, says, I asked the same question, why did it take so long? I'm happy that we're here now. I think about when I was a little girl, what I wanted to see. Now that I'm a mom, it's so important to me to make sure we get Elena right. I wanted there to be a princess that looked like me with dark skin and hair. We're telling Latinas, we see you, you matter. So there you go. So there you go. Technically, on TV, which I had no idea because I don't watch TV anymore. At Disney's California Adventure, Princess Elena has her own parade and greets children wearing her long red gown. I'm wondering if the kids know who's that princess, right? Unless you have the serious like, oh, Helena who? That's where
know who she is.
What?
I'm pretty sure the kids know who she is.
Well,
because if it's on the Disney Channel.
Well, you know what? So back to your granddaughter. Okay, you tell granddaughter, she's a princess already. Okay, so she doesn't need to see a princess be on the big screen in order to already be a princess in her own right. And you tell your granddaughter she does not need a boy to make her happy. Okay. And then teach her how to move and kind of fight and be able to punch her way out of things. All right. Because I bet she's already strong of character just to ask that, right? How old is she, by the way? We want to know. Let's see. Okay, Kathy Dorado says she was 15 when she asked. She's still waiting. She's 20 now. Princess Elena is not marketed in only a cartoon, no movies. You didn't say Disney princesses. Technically, she is a Disney princess. I'm not going to go back and forth on that one, but I will say this: I bet she's already the princess in your life. That's what you should have said. Who needs a Latina princess? You're already my Latina princess. So there you go. I'm the queen. And if you ever find a king, you make sure that I check his credentials. So there you go. That's what I say about that. All right. So there you go. I'm just like the next person that goes, oh, okay, where's the diversity sometimes? But at the same time, I also say, you know what? Let's applaud the diversity when it happens. Coco, come on, that was a good movie. All right, let's not shred everything when we get it. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, you work for Disney. Actually, I don't work for Disney. I don't get Disney passes. Trust me. My point is this: at the end of the day, be the king or queen in your own life. Teach your princesses, come what may, that they are exactly that in their own life. All right, people. All right. We appreciate you. There you go. And I agree. And there you go. All right. We're going to take a quick break here on the morning show. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Who is the Atua Man? Can you imagine exploring spiritual consciousness through an exotic action-adventure story? The Atua Man is masterfully illuminated in this self-discovery novel by John Stevenson. Dive into the page-turning epic hero's journey, weaving together high action with spiritual revelation. Join the Atua Man and his colorful cohorts as they travel through the majestic Hawaii, the hidden mysteries of Polynesia, and the intrigue, starting with the mysterious healing that breeds chaos in London. This journey guides us through the trials of living in the material world, arriving into enlightened consciousness, perhaps glimpse into the fabric of creation. How is the Atua Man affected by the global healing ministry surrounding him? How does he navigate the complexities of love, forgiveness, life and death, wealth and power? Find out in John Stevenson's TheAtuaMan.com, Apple Books, Amazon, Barnes & Noble.
The Beljanski Foundation offers you the scientific approach to healing used successfully by Francois Mitterrand, the former president of France. The Beljanski Foundation offers you non-toxic, scientifically supported methods to regain your health. Visit the Beljanski Foundation website, www.beljanski.org. You'll be glad you did. That's www.beljanski.org. The Beljanski Foundation. The information is essential. The Beljanski Foundation. www.beljanski.org. The Beljanski Method, now in America. www.beljanski.org.
Are you a self-published author that maybe underestimated the challenges of marketing your own book? I'm Suzanne Lynn, and we help authors sell more books through video interviews and radio advertising. You see, a professional video interview is really an author's secret weapon for marketing because it makes an emotional connection with your reader that can be posted to social media, YouTube, your book's landing page and website, your Amazon author page, and even sent to media to request interviews. We guarantee that video interview will be viewed by a minimum of 3,000 people in your target audience. And let's face it, no one can sell your book better than you speaking about it yourself. Plus, we can run commercials on our nationwide network of radio stations that targets your specific reading audience. Find out more at givemybookwings.com. That's givemybookwings.com. Again, givemybookwings.com.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Sometimes technology likes to go, I don't want to work. And there you go. And that's what happened as of just a moment ago. I think now, Jesse, they can hear me, but they can't hear you. So I've got one of those situations going on. You could do a quick test to see if you could hear yourself. But there you go. We got Jesse. Either one of two things. Either he's moving his mouth, or you can tune on our app, KMET 1490 AM, and still hear him, because oddly enough on the radio you can hear both, right, Jesse? I kind of have a feeling they can't. My system's going a little bonkers over here, but there you go. Y2K is back at just do sign language. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, that's the opportunity of the lifetime. That there you go. Yeah. All right. So those of you tuning in, we appreciate you. Could you hear him? Could you not? Who knows? This is a live show. That's what happens there. Let's see. People are talking on social media about Disney movies, and here's what I could say though. Here's what I could say for sure. At least there are representation in other movies as well, right? Like I mean, I'm thinking of Mandalorian. By the way, Mandalorian 2, season 2, right? It was a good or bad or great or amazing, Jesse. No, never mind. They can't hear you. So yes, I will repeat what you say. You know what? I'm gonna take one more break. Let's figure this out. I feel like I need Jesse on the line there. We'll take another break because we really need his audio back, right? One more break. Why not? We got to pay more bills. Why not? Why not? Support our advertisers. We'll be right back with more after this.
Carlson, the very finest fish oil, is a valuable source of the important omega-3s, EPA and DHA. Each teaspoon provides a full 1,600 milligrams of omega-3s. And its purity is guaranteed. Try it on salads and popcorn. It tastes like lemon, not fishy. As for Carlson, the very finest fish oil, at finer health food stores today.
Do you need a car? Been shopping only to be turned down because of bad credit, low credit, no credit, bankruptcy, or divorce? Guess what? Today's your lucky day because now you can buy a car, truck, or SUV, just about any vehicle. It's true. Bad credit doesn't matter. No credit doesn't matter. Bankruptcy or divorce, it just doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, your job is your ticket to your new vehicle. We're Auto Credit Express, and we've helped thousands of people just like you. Antonio H. told us, great company, got me connected, and the day I went in, I drove off in the car I wanted. 100% worth your time. Need a car? Get started now and drive off as early as today. Just go to 12ignoremyscore.com right now. That's www.12ignoremyscore.com. Auto financing the easy way. 12ignoremyscore.com. Get started today. Auto financing the easy way.
Heart to Heart Counseling and Psychotherapy Center offers virtual sessions via Zoom, Skype, FaceTime, and by phone, specializing in addictions and creating satisfying sexual relationships. Heart to Heart Counseling can help you enjoy freedom from a codependent life and create a better future for yourself and family. Heart to Heart Counseling can also help you achieve a romantic, intimate lifestyle and inner peace. To contact Dr. Robert and Dr. Mitra, go to their programmer page on the KMET AM website. Heart to Heart Counseling is here for you.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Glad to have Jesse back. I think we got things working over here in social media land. Those of you tuning in, appreciate you. Stephanie Reed says, I know the Cheetah Girls is a good Disney film. Adrienne Bailon is in that one, who was an MTV film, All You've Got and On the Reel. So there you go. Some pretty good stuff over there. And there you go. All right. Now, in other news, warnings, of course, from around the world. Optimism spreading in the U.S. as COVID-19 deaths are plummeting and states are easing restrictions and open vaccinations to younger adults. Across Europe, though, dread is setting in with another wave of infections that's closing schools and cafes and bringing new lockdowns. The pandemic's diverging paths on the continents, of course, are spreading. The rollout in the U.S., the spread of more contagious variants in Europe, which now, remember, are here as well. Health experts say what's happening in Europe should serve as a warning against ignoring social distancing or dropping other safeguards too early. Dr. Rochelle Walensky, director of the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, said each of these countries has had nadirs like we are having now, and each took an upward trend after they disregarded known mitigation strategies. They simply took their eye off the ball. The result has been a sharp spike in new infections and hospitalizations in several European countries over the past few weeks. Poland's rate of new COVID cases has more than doubled since February, straining their healthcare system and leading to a 3-week nationwide lockdown, which was announced Wednesday for shopping malls, theaters, galleries, and sports centers. Italy closed most of its classrooms at the beginning of the week and expanded areas where restaurants and cafes can do now, again, only takeout or delivery. The country's health experts say they're seeing an increasing number of patients who are middle-aged and younger. In France, officials imposed weekend lockdowns around the French Riviera in the south and the English Channel in the north. They're preparing new restrictions for the Paris region and perhaps beyond to be announced as of today. COVID-19 patients occupy 100% of standard intensive care hospital beds in the areas surrounding the nation's capital. Remy Salomon, a top official in the Paris Public Hospital Authority, said, if we don't do anything, we're heading toward catastrophe. Serbia announced a nationwide lockdown for the rest of the week, closing all non-essential shops and businesses. The country of 7 million people reported more than 5,000 new cases on Tuesday. That's the highest number in months. The trends are, of course, better here in the U.S., which has recorded so far, and this isn't a good number, 537,000 deaths overall, more than any other country. I just want you to hold up there on that. 500,000 people is first of all very sobering. That's in 1 year of one particular. And I know you're probably thinking, so for those of you that are still on the fence, well, there's maybe an uptick in certain misrepresentation of numbers. But even if you took a representation of a bad like 10 to 12%, that's still a huge number, right, Jesse?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like, I can spit out numbers all day, but what a lot of people forget to realize is all these numbers, they're actually people.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
Imagine going to that many funerals. And the worst part is, if you've lost a family member, you may not have been able to go to a funeral. You may not have. I recently, I was at in San Gabriel. I was going by what's called the San Gabriel Mission. And I saw a service outside, and I just something kind of drew me over there, and I walked over there, and it was mainly in Spanish, but it was bilingual, and it was about a lady who had died due to COVID and the family that she left behind. Very sad to see. And I just sat kind of in the back. It was outside, of course. And I just, my heart kind of fell. I didn't know these people, but I knew that it was one of which, for those that say, oh, I don't know anybody that has, go walk in on a funeral and find out why they're dead. Try that. And then, COVID. Mm-hmm. It was sad. It was sad to see. I've never really done that, but I thought, well, I was trying to do like a walk around the mission. I've never really walked down the mission. Sometimes I take little moments of days and go, let's see what's around here. And then I saw that type of service, and I felt really bad for the families there. Sometimes you have to stop and say, what's going on around us, right? So whenever people kind of throw things out, and I did have a conversation yesterday, as you could tell, I got a haircut, very short haircut, by the way, right? But my hairstylist, which has been one for quite some time, actually, we were talking, and she was saying how one of her customers actually, because she got the vaccine, is now going around not wearing a face mask at all, because now she thinks, oh, I got the vaccine, I'm fine. So I said, well, because we were talking about, I said, some people, we always talk about trends and things that are happening and how things are going to go. And she admitted a couple of things. She's like, you were right about a lot of things, specifically when it came to, streaming services and where they were going to go. I said, yeah, right. Would have been good to cash in on some of my advice. But my point is this. Going forward, we talked about it. It says, unfortunately, there are people that kind of just, they get the shot in the arm. They go, I'm vaccinated. I could do anything I want. And when she told me that, she's like, yeah. And her own, the lady, okay. So her client, right, which she does her hair, older lady, I guess, her son, which I guess is in his 40s, says, don't believe her. Don't follow her. If you just don't, right? Smart kid. Being like, don't be like my mom. Like, you can still get it, right? Let's put our thinking caps on, people. A vaccine is what? Is it the cure against it? No. Is it a cure against the other variants that are happening? No. All right. Anybody here in Europe would tell you that. No. Or maybe they wouldn't. I don't know. There's a percentage of people that just go, I got the cure. I can do anything I want now. And go, well, hold on. Doesn't mean you're not going to get it. It doesn't mean your chances are increased to be able to, depending on which COVID, if you get the original strain and or other, that you actually can maybe fight it. Yeah, I'll give you that. You have a leg up. It doesn't make you, you're not Superman or Superwoman at the end of the day. So don't be the person that goes, yay, or I don't need a face mask anymore. I'm invincible. Okay, just whoa. Because guaranteed there's going to be people going, but I got the shot. Why am I in the hospital? Why am I in ICU, right? So don't be that person. And that's why this article came out. Let's see. ICU nurse Christina Anderson says, it gives me goosebumps. It's really just surreal. A month and a half ago, our unit was full of super sick COVID patients, many of which didn't survive. The European Union's overall vaccination efforts lag far behind those of Britain and the U.S. because of shortages and other hurdles. Roughly 1 in every 5 in the U.S. has received at least one dose, while in most of the European countries, it's fewer than 1 of every 10. In another troubling turn, many European countries, including Germany, France, Spain, and Italy, have suspended use of AstraZeneca's vaccine over reports of dangerous blood clots in a small number of recipients, though regulators say there's no evidence the shot is to blame because, of course, keep passing that out. It's good stuff, right? The evil ones out there. European nations haven't vaccinated quickly enough to stay ahead of the more contagious variants. Dr. Amesh Adalja, a senior scholar at the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security in Baltimore, Maryland, those variants are taking hold in the U.S. Adalja said, vaccination with no speed limit 24/7, that's what's going to protect us from what's happening in Europe. He believes it's too early for states, though, to drop mask mandates, but okay to allow restaurants and other places to increase capacity gradually. He says you don't have to do what Texas did. You can increase capacity while keeping the masks in place. So look, again, I'm just saying there's some people that use their thinking mind, and then there's others that you kind of have to spell like reasoning, right, ability into it, right? So if you get a vaccination, let's just go through the obvious. Well, what are you thinking there, Jesse?
I'm just thinking of what people are like. They hear this information, and what they're listening to is like every other word.
Yeah.
It's just all like, you are protected, and then that's it. It's just, I'll be honest, because sometimes I don't pay attention all the time, and I'll skip a few words, and it'll be completely different.
I understand you, because I've done that. Sometimes my mom will talk, and I'm like out thinking 20 different things, and then I come in, I go and then I go out again, and then I come back in, and she's like, so what do you think? I'm like, rewind in your head, right? Well, what did you say exactly? Yes, I agree. You agreed? Then take out the trash. No, right? No, I'm just kidding. But my point is this, use your thinking mind, okay? Just because you get a shot and or a vaccine doesn't mean and she made a good point, doesn't mean that you can't get it and that you can't give it to the rest of your friends and or family. And or does the vaccines cover the other variants? I had a question yesterday and somebody says, don't they? I go, no, they don't. The new variants have been so new that they haven't had time to catch up to them just yet. So there's still, so just look, if we already have 500,000, do you remember when Trump said, I think in late November, maybe it was October, I don't remember, but he went on ABC, one of those shows, right? And he's like, 400,000, that's about how many we'll probably have at the end of the day. Well, we're at 537 million people here in the U.S., not to count around the world. That's sobering news. And we're supposed to be in a very civilized, advanced part of the world, right? Imagine those areas that are not. Ouch. All right, let's see. Maria says, my cousin got her Johnson & Johnson vaccine yesterday. She's laying in bed, shivering for 4 hours with a fever. She's fine so far today. Most real bad noticeable side effect is flu-like symptoms in some people. That's according to at least the people I know who got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. I'll tell you, even the Moderna one, I've heard of several people getting the second one and not doing well, by the way. Yesterday, talking to my hairstylist, same thing. She said, yeah, somebody else as well got the second dose and not doing very well over there. So look, the science is still new. Okay, this coronavirus is not one to where they're like, oh, okay, yeah, it's just like the flu, totally cool. Yeah, don't believe that. Okay, just again, there's a reason we're in a worldwide pandemic. There's a reason people are dying. There's a reason. Back to frontline workers, if you have a nurse and or a doctor, you should be saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But we got to think ahead. And that was kind of the conversation we had yesterday, which is you got to think ahead as a country as to where we're going next. Now, of course, you could plan for it. Are we going to get out of this at some point? Of course we are, right? We've overcome the deadly plague, right? The bubonic plague. We've overcome terrible diseases in the past, right? Science somehow finds a way to be able to help us. I'm just saying, just be careful out there. And then you got to think about the economy. You got to think about finances. You got to think about maybe banding together. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday who said, they're paying like $1,600 a month in rent. I'm like, man, I might be moving in with you soon. Just, keep the cost down, I've got backups just in case, right? So, I heard yesterday somebody spent their stimulus check on roller skates. Yeah, roller skates. I said to their friend, hey, let's buy roller skates for $300. What kind of roller skates are you buying? Right? And the smart, again, my stylist, smart lady says, don't you want to put that away just for safekeeping? I mean, we're not out of the woods. So don't buy into the whole hype of we're out of the woods. Yay. Let's get what I'm saying. I'm just saying, if you're here, you're a listening and thinking person. All right. Kathy says this, day of appreciation to the paramedics that got me to a hospital, risking their health and life, and stayed with me, holding my hands until I was admitted into the hospital as I was waiting in the truck for over 3 hours fighting COVID. To all those nurses, doctors, and the rest you never hear about that promised to get me home and not let me become a COVID fatality number. The word survivor will never mean the same to me. And appreciate all those that kept their promise to me. Oh, you see that? Thank you, Kathy. Thank you for sharing your story with us. That's very important. Again, and thank you for sharing your unbiased story. Right? Sometimes I still get people that go, I still don't know people. I'm like, seriously, get out of your bubble. How many times have I said that to the rest of our morning show audience? So that's why I love your actual real comments, because those are the ones not made up. And I'm glad you're better and doing well for it. By the way, glad you're you've survived it, right? And I gotta tell you this: those that have gotten sick and into the hospital, if you've survived it, you're still you're still fighting it, right? Some are not the same. You almost want to say, just don't get it, right? Don't get it at all. Yeah. Mario says vaccinated people could potentially still get COVID-19 and spread it to others. The benefits of relaxing some measures, such as quarantine requirements and reducing social isolation, may outweigh the residual risk of fully vaccinated people becoming ill with COVID-19 and transmitting the virus to others. The side effects of the vaccines are a sign that the vaccine has stimulated an immune response. However, everyone's reaction to the vaccine is different, so the absence of side effects after vaccination doesn't mean the vaccine isn't working. And then Stephanie says, like my grandmother always told me that there is no let up. Good point. You know what? I like that. We're going to go with that because I know I got a lot of you go. And I want to say thank you for, if you're not streaming already on the Alexa app, make sure to get us on Alexa. If we ever have technical difficulties on the streaming app, we apologize. It's not coronavirus. I just need to drink some water. Drink more water and keep your immunity up. But at the end of the day, always be prepared for what's around the corner. It might be a tornado or an earthquake or some other disaster, right? It's like the world's just throwing a bunch of stuff our way. But you know what? At the end of the day, we have each other, right? Jesse, I know for a fact if I were like left homeless on the road, you and your family would probably at least pick me up or give me some Lay's potato chips, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah, I got some potato chips in the back. I would help you up.
Okay, so I had a conversation really quick. I have to throw this out with a homeless man yesterday in Montebello. Okay, 33, young guy, nice guy, nice. Couldn't be nicer. Humble man. And we were talking in around Vaughn's. Nice guy. You wouldn't even know he's homeless. If anything, he had like a backpack and everything. He looked like he was like going to the airport, right? And clean shaven, very, but truly living on the streets, right? I kid you not, the police came and God help. I was just having a conversation with this guy, and he's like, "Hey, no loitering," he said to the other guy. And I'm like, well, we're just having a conversation. And by the way, I already bought, here's my receipt. Like, I bought food items because I gave him some M&Ms that I wanted to see what was in his head. And nice guy. But I had to say, because the police officer, like, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to you. I'm like, yeah, but I'm talking to him and we're having a conversation. I just bought. So I'm a patron in essence. You can't lock me up, right? I'm not loitering. I'm having a conversation. Anyway, long story short, this guy, I said, look, I'm going to take you. I'm taking him with me. And thankfully, the police officer said, thank you for doing that. Because I know the police officer was doing his job, right? Probably one of the businesses say, oh, they're loitering, blah, blah, blah. But my point is this particular person says, yeah, I was locked up the other day because of a shopping cart that he had. A shopping cart. Are we locking people up because of them having shopping carts? Are you kidding me? Come on, people. Do the right thing. All right, people. Make it a great day. Remember, life is worth living. Call that stuff out. Support our friends and family. Okay, bye-bye, everyone. Yeah, seriously. Nice guy, by the way. Nice gentleman. Had a conversation with him, talked about his family, his aunt. The love of his life, who said, she's not going to want me back. I got bad credits. Things have just been rough on me. So really, how's that going? Right? Just a conversation. Nice guy. Gave him some M&Ms. Good Monster Energy. He needed it. But nice gentleman, right? And in talking to him, it's sad because he had a situation where I personally, I think like his father did him a disservice. I'm not going to lie. Where he says, yeah, my father, I once jumped into his arms and he didn't even grab me. And I said, excuse, what? Huh? What does that mean? Yeah, he told me, you should never even trust even me. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. That's the stupidest thing. If you should be able to trust anybody, it should be your family. Don't be that type of father to be able to, and I guarantee you, none of them are listening, right? Because they couldn't stand to listen to me. Otherwise, they go head to head with me every single time. Don't be that type of person that seriously says, hey, yeah, because I've been told that once. I was told that once, honestly, by a family relative, which said, well, you shouldn't even trust anybody around you, like, let alone me. I go, thanks for showing your true colors. I know not to trust you now, right? Thank God we have at least somebody to trust, right? 33, young individual man. He felt like he was 85. I could tell because he was like an old soul. Humble man, humble. You know what he offered? He's like, hey, you need any help or painting or doing anything around the house? I go, oh, if I had a house to paint, I'd probably hire you for sure. Gave him my telephone number. Said, you call me whenever you need something, right? Sometimes you just know, right? I'm not saying every single person. Like he wasn't, in Crazyville. Right. Sometimes there's some I go, whoa, stay away. I've had ones shout and abusive obscenities. There's some you gotta stay away from. This one, not that way at all. Not that way at all. All right. And he was just trying to make ends meet. Right. And his shopping cart, just he had some stuff in there. He had a backpack, a couple backpacks, a couple of luggage that he just kind of lugged around. Stood up tall, right? Just asking for, hey, can you help me out? But I always ask this question. You have family? Because I got a lot of people on social media. I can guarantee you, I could go through my Rolodex and say, hey, if I needed a place to crash and or a garage to sleep in, I would probably choose that option first because it's cold out there, right? It's cold. Don't ever look down on somebody that has a shopping cart to be able to put their stuff in, to be able and to get locked up for a shopping cart theft. Oh, come on. you know, and I did. I said to him, look, you could come back with me, you know. And he's like, no, I don't need to do that. Very humble man. No, it's okay. I said, look, number one, you got to learn to trust. There are those in your life that you can trust. He goes, I don't know. Some of my friends just, I can't trust. Well, then you need new friends. Seriously, those are stupid people. That's what I said. Because they're dumb, right? He goes, well, I said, well, then you just say you're sorry. Now, there are some that have hit rock bottom and you've lost certain friends because maybe you did some bad. I don't know his story, right? I don't know what his story is that he didn't want to say entirely. I don't dig that deep. Everybody has their right to their own information, right? But at the end of the day, even if you wronged your friends and or relatives, never be so proud. He's not proud, by the way, not proud. Okay, but I met ones that are like, no, I'm never going to apologize. You're the one living on the streets, man. Right? This guy, the opposite. I says, you know what? You have a love of your life, don't you? Yeah, I do. He said. He goes, but she's not gonna want me back. Well, give her a call. I'm sure she could help you out somehow. No, that was his demeanor. No, it's all right. Man, my heart. But to get locked up by the police department for loitering and having a shopping cart, come on. Where's our heart? If you're a business owner, have a heart. Seriously. Man. Maria says this, life on the streets is hard, trust me. Been there, done that. God bless everyone who takes the time to talk with her to help them out, right? Yeah. Says homeless people are so nice, happy with any help they receive. I always try to give them food and water and clothing to keep them warm. Callie says support. Sometimes isn't that what we need at the end of the day? Each and every one of us is support. Now I will say, okay, and I told him, I was very clear with him. I'm like, I just got out of a divorce. My life sucks. Life is just, ugh. Now I live back at home with my mom again. Right? He's like, wow, I'm sorry, man. Sorry. And I was trying to do that to be like, look, man, I don't have the best. I mean, you know, so yeah, I do a little radio online. Big deal. But at the end of the day, we're all trying to make ends meet. Right? Little, big, small, large, whatever that is. You look, I like to equate going, look, you know, I'll give you some food items and, you know, we could talk it out. But at the end of the day, I got to hope, he reaches out to a family member. He mentioned an aunt, right? He mentioned an aunt. I hope that aunt says, hey, yeah, of course. Come on. Right? Now, I know some that are so off the beaten path. But this was a man who you would say, I thought he was going to the airport, to be honest. Technically, I thought he was like a traveler, to be honest. That's what he looked like, right? Humble man. Anybody that says, hey, you got a house, I'll paint. Well, not a house, I live in an apartment with my mom. That's no fun to say that out loud, right? But I'd rather take care of my mom. My mom doesn't have coronavirus. I keep her safe. I protect her. Go out and get stuff and then remind her, hey, wear a face mask, right? So that's the charge I have until, you know, next venture in my life. Right? Sometimes you have to make ends meet. And sometimes you have to swallow your pride and say, you know what? Yeah, live with family. Oh, well. So what? At least we're alive. At least we're doing the right thing. At least we're bunkering down, right? At least we're consolidating our finances. Maybe we don't have everything. Sometimes when I say radio, you know, people think, oh, you're making buttloads of money. And I say that to say, look, no, I do it because it's the right thing to do. Okay. Sometimes I get paid from time to time, contract work, but I do it as a volunteer, technically. Yeah. And at the end of the day, I do have to always say, no matter what life throws at you, are you homeless? Right? I have to remind myself, I'm not homeless. At least I have a place to stay. Homeless to me is you have nobody to crash with, right? You don't have a home to at least put your head up, right? Even for some time, right? Now, again, I don't know how far down the path his life went, but I got to imagine he can at least remember this. There are people in your life that you should foster your relationship with that you truly can trust. And if there are certain ones that like you call them up, and I said, there's got to be somebody that you can call up and they would say, you know what, come on over, sleep on the couch. Right? Worst case scenario. Sleep on the couch. I mean, there's been times I've been out and about and I'm, so tired I want to drive a 4Runner. I just pull up in the back and take a nap in the back of the 4Runner, right? I'm not homeless, but one time I took an afternoon nap in a shopping market area, right, in Rancho Cucamonga. I just took it because you recline, you go, oh, I need to take a nap, maybe 15-20 minute nap. Got stopped by a security guard. Hey, you can't stay here. Why? I'm taking a nap. This is a free country. What's that about, right? I'm like, okay. If I were driving a Rolls Royce, would you have said that to me? I don't know. All right. So my point is this: have compassion, have love for one another, and remember, don't throw love out of the way for each and every one of you. All right. All right. Kathy says, let's see, bless your kindness. There were over 40,000 children under the age of 5 that are homeless in one country alone. People only see the grown-ups. They don't notice the collagen or the tens left out there by foster care. I don't think it's collagen, but they don't notice the tens left out there by foster care. Shelters are not prepared for families or teens alone. Oh yeah, you're right about that. We've interviewed a couple of organizations that actually do that for people, right? That make themselves available, and God bless those organizations, right? God bless those organizations, and God bless those people that say, you know what, I've got a place to stay. Here you go. It might be the backyard with a tent, but you know what, yeah. And or a family relative, right? Check up on your family members. Seriously, check up on them. Now, I know there are some, because I've talked to quite a few homeless, some of which actually will say, my family. And it always comes from really broken families. It's sad. It's so sad. Such like, and he was like, well, he was abused, or no, I think his father was abused. He didn't tell me the whole story, but his father, like, I was like, who would you jump into their arms with and you would just let them fall to the ground? What kind of father is that? That's what I say. What kind of father is it that would do that? He goes, well, no. He had a, I go, my stepdad had a terrible life. He would never do that to me. You got to learn to trust somebody. I say, if you don't trust anybody, trust me. Do I have to have anything to gain? I mean, I don't, you have nothing to gain from you. I told him that. To help remind him, I got nothing, but you know what? I bet, and I told him this because it's true. If I were on Titanic, would he not save me? And I said, if I were on Titanic and you had the ability, would you? He goes, yeah, of course, in a heartbeat. Okay, then. That's enough for me. He thought about it. Well, that's true. Shred of decency, human kindness. If there were a fire burning in one of those buildings, I can almost guarantee you he would probably be one of the first to go, oh, shoot, I'm running away. No. He'd do the opposite. That's the type of character this particular person had. They call him a walking earth angel. Sometimes there are people walking amongst us that we say, you know what? You're like an earth angel. Willing to do what's right no matter what. Sometimes you guys have money. Sometimes you don't. Okay, at the end of the day, we got to focus on positivity, right? So let's focus on something positive. At the end of the day, if you're a family member and or somebody that you know somebody has fallen on hard times, check in on somebody, all right? Give a phone call, give a little message. Hey, how you doing over there? What's going on? Oh, I just had to move. I don't have financial means. And, so, I mean, some people don't admit to that. Oh, yeah, no, our life is great. They're grand. It's just wonderful. Oh, okay. Let's meet up for lunch, right? And then you see how they're doing and something comes out. Okay. I recently offered to one person. I said, well, I mean, I don't have much. I just live in a 1-bedroom apartment, not a big deal. You know, I mean, I can offer you, you know, the bed. I'll sleep on the floor, right? At least it's a place. I mean, you can't do that just to anybody because, you know, you got to be careful with some people. You know what I mean? Don't be that person. But if you could be that person that actually goes, okay, you know what? You know, there are some people that you go, you know what? I just know you're good. I just fell on hard times. Maybe you just need a day or a month to get your act together and have a place to stay, shower up a little, right? Now, I'm not saying all single ladies should go out and do that, but you know what I mean? All right, people. Love your life. Be good. Be good to one another. And remember, we're all in this together. We really are. We're all in this together. Don't throw human decency and or kindness out the door just because, you know, you had a bad day. Okay? Look at your neighbor. Look at your person next to you. Whether they're waiting in the shopping line. Because trust me, I've been in some shopping markets that people are like, you got coronavirus, you got coronavirus. 6 feet away. I've heard that. 6 feet away. Yeah, can I help you? Like, whoa, what's going on, Dad? I've heard that a couple times. I was like, whoa. I'm just here to use the restroom really quick, right? Don't be that person. I'll call you out every time. All right, let's see. Roy Taylor. How does this guy do a 2-hour radio show and not take phone calls? Is that a complaint and or a statement, Roy? The areas it takes to do that is astounding. To do what? Help me out. Or was that just a regular question? How does this guy do a 2-hour radio show and not take phone calls? What was the question, Roy? Do you want to make a phone call? Do you want to talk? What would you like to talk about, Roy? I'm taking your social media comments. Is that wrong? What are we talking about, Roy? Right now, I'm just having an after talk right now. We're off the air, by the way. So I'm having the after show talk, which isn't on the air. And I do actually, if you listen to the show, I actually do take calls. Or do you want to call in? Is that what you want to do? What is it, Roy? You can talk social media. Maybe there's something I said that you don't like. You can share. Or maybe there's something that you do like. Or maybe you want to share something. I hope you're not having a bad day. You're having a bad day, Roy? Look, some people, okay, I've been hit up by so many people that are like, okay, I've gotten ostracized, technically, by throwing out information over a year ago about coronavirus. And here we are, 560,000 people dead, right? Mm-hmm. Even Kathy over there said that, you know, her own situation was one of which she almost would have died, maybe, I don't know, or maybe she thanked those frontline workers. So what's the question, Roy? At the end of the day, I meet all kinds of people, mad, sad, angry, frustrated with life. And usually I find at the very core of something, whenever they ask something, it's one of two things. One, because they're sincerely trying to ask, and I might have misread it, I apologize. And or they simply are trying to, you know, get some information out there, or maybe they're a little mad and they're angry and are like, well, why am, and I always go like, well, what happened in your day or life that you're so mad or angry? Because I get it. I have a lot to be mad or angry about. Like I said, I suffered a divorce just recently. That sucks. Right? I don't like to talk about it, but I did. That was late, mid last year. Sucks. Right? But you got to push forward. You got to do what's right. You got to keep moving forward. You got to what? Keep living life. Sometimes life hands you a bunch of stuff and you go, oh, what are you going to do with it, right? You go, okay, all right. That's all right. That's all right. Paths diverge. But at the end of the day, anybody calls me up, I'll say, you know what? Your place is mine. Don't ever be caught homeless. Right? Isn't that what you want to do? Roy, you got a question and or a statement? All right. I recently had somebody call up the radio station, and they actually said I spoke bad about a particular city. So they're going to make an FCC complaint. Can you believe that? Yeah, that happened. For what? Have I? Okay, I call people out on their stuff, but have I ever, like, seriously, it astounds me. It astounds me the level of craziness that sometimes, and you guys don't know, sometimes I fight that stuff. Do I get paid for what I do? Mm-mm. Do I get paid for sometimes some, stuff that I do? Yeah. But I do so because out of a sense of obligation, especially now. I used to do it just for the fun of it, to be honest, and I get paid on occasion, technically. But I do it in order to help, and I appreciate those of you that actually do appreciate the show. So thank you. Some of you actually do, support the station. It does take money to run a station. It does, right? I'm not the owner, though, and the owners are doing the best job that they can to keep the lights on. A lot of owners are trying to do the right thing to keep the lights on for their employees and or staff members, right? So don't be that person. Do you have a question, Roy? I'm waiting. No? Okay. All right. Well, give me a chance, but you don't want to take it? I'll be here another couple minutes. What do you guys want to talk about? Do you have a question, a statement? You know why I don't take phone calls? I'll tell you why. I don't take phone calls because sometimes people will cuss, and typically I don't take phone calls because we can get FCC fines from people that cuss and or break a rule, right? An F-bomb or a S-bomb, because we're on commercial radio. So to be very frank with you, that's why I don't typically take, but I've often opened up every now and then, right, to some of you social media audience. I've opened up the telephone lines. Sometimes you guys get to talk, and we have what's called a dump button, which we can implement that because we're on a delay at the radio station. So we have like that type of obscene caller, and then we have to, but there's a delay, right? We don't want that. Do you want me to bring back Roy? You tell me. I can do it. But usually I have guests. If this is your first time or last time, I apologize. But I hope you have a better day today. All right? By the way, those of you that have social media comments on your social media, and there's those that kind of go like, kind of like attack. All know who they are, right? You kind of go, why are you attacking? Give a moment of reflection. Go, okay, before you go at them. That's what sometimes I have to do. Sometimes I kind of go on the offense because I'm not used to, like, I don't like people pushing me around. I went through my whole life people pushing me around, and I took it for the majority of the time. But now I stick up, not just for myself, but for others, right? And I think you got to do that in your own way, not punching them back, right? But if you're going to get pushed, you say, yeah, you block and or counter, right? Martial arts 101, right? I've been taking that for quite some time, so how do you block? How do you counter? Right? You don't want to get hit, right? You gotta dodge it. Sometimes you get hit, and then you go, okay, well now where are we? What level are we at with now? Right? Do you punch back? Do you turn the other cheek? Do you say, let's walk away? Sometimes you do have to do that. You just go, you know what? It's like some people yell obscenities. You go, oh, there is no reasoning with that person. Bunkers, right? That's why I say with road rage sometimes, and I've had moments, I'm not gonna lie, where you're driving down the road and you're like, oh, there's that one person there, and they cut you off. You're like, oh, you just and you kind of speed up a little. Like, did you not see what? Or they throw somebody else in harm's way, right? Run a red light. I saw that yesterday. I go, you probably had to use the restroom, right? So. All right. Anyway, I guess Roy's out of the loop there. All right, Roy. Look, I hope you have a better day. I do. And anybody else out there, you have a bad day. I get it, right? We all have bad days. The important thing is to say, well, what caused the bad day? Sometimes my mom has a bad day. Sometimes I have a bad day. And I go, okay, what's causing it? Is it frustration and or madness or sadness through, I don't know, just trying to make the bills paid? What is it? Right? What's your frustration? What's your sadness? Then you got to break it down. Well, why am I angry? Why am I mad? Why did I come off so like in such a weird way? And you go, were you like that as a kid? No, actually, I was kind of a happy kid, actually. Really? Huh, what happened? No, my mom, she was yelling at me. Oh, don't be that mom that yells at your kids. Nah, my father, he abused me as a kid. Oh, yeah, well, that makes sense. Anger. You got a lot of anger, huh? I got a lot of anger. Right. What's your story? You want to tell your story? I have no problem. Tell your story. Maybe not today, Roy. Maybe tomorrow. All right, Roy. Make it a great day. Maria, thank you very much for tuning in. Kathy, thank you for tuning in. Let's see. Callie, tuning in. Thank you. Let's see. Jesse, thank you for always doing your what you do. Stephanie Reed, thank you for tuning in from Cleveland, Ohio. Let's see. Katya Wunderland from Switzerland, thank you for tuning in. Angel Robertson, thank you for tuning in, even silently over there from Scotland. Thank you. Appreciate each and every one of you. And again, thank you. We've learned a lot today, have we not? Oh, Chica High Star. Thank you very much for tuning in from around the world. I think I forget where Chica's on. I want to say like I'm not gonna. Oh, in this one, I don't even recognize that language, so I apologize. I don't know how to say hello to you. But there you go. Okay, each and every one of you, thank you for tuning in to the morning show. We'll see you tomorrow, same place, same channel. Bye, everyone. Jesse. I know. I'm still waiting for the more comments. Where's the more comments? Did I miss his comments? I don't know. I don't know. Don't be angry. Nobody likes an angry and grumpy man. Even of the seven dwarfs, Grumpy sometimes would be a little. He needed his friends to go, hey, yo, Grumps, come on. Life isn't that bad, right? Don't be grumpy. Okay. If anything, be like me, dopey. Have fun with life. Bye-bye, everyone.